Truly believe that you are tuned to Talk Sport right here in Nigeria's capital city. This is Global TV, and it's time for us to take a look at stories that are making headlines in the world of sport. Let's go straight to Saudi Arabia, where latest report reaching us says Saudi Arabia sport minister says claim over sport washing against the country are very shallow as he defends the right to host the men's football World Cup. Of course, talking about the Jordan Prince Abdulaziz being tackled. Fessa says a lot of people that accuse us that we don't have all it takes to stage the tournament may not have visited the country. Critics are saying unprecedented spending on sport has been used to improve the producing kingdom reputation of a human rights record and its environmental impact. But the Minister of Sport of that country confirmed that instead he insisted that the investment boosting the economic opening it up, the tourism and inspiring people to be more active in the game of sport. In his first interview since emerging that the country was bidding opposed to host the 2034 World Cup, the minister said Saudi Arabia was studying the possibility of hosting the tournament in the summer despite the kingdom's extreme heat. Of course, you know that Saudi Arabia has been awarded the hosting right to stage the World Cup, and we look forward to a bright atmosphere for Saudi Arabia. For those of us that have visited Saudi Arabia, indeed, they have all the logistics to stage the tournament. Now, talking about staging the tournament, let's bring you back home here in Nigeria, that the girls from Egypt are the reigning champions of the 2023. Of course, talking about the Under-17 Volleyball Championship. They came in the country, trashed the Republic of Cameroon, as well as also beat Nigeria to be crowned champions of the second edition of the Volleyball Championship. A visit at the indoor stop point of the MKO Abiola National Stadium. The Egyptians were the first to arrive the venue, followed by the host side Nigeria. It was a three-man event that took place at the MKO Abiola National Stadium. And of course, the big boy himself, talking about distinguished Senator John Owen Eno, the Minister of Sport of the Federal Capital Territory of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, was there. His absence ensured that the girls did their best, and of course, it was the Egyptians who won the day. Let's show you a little bit how it was yesterday at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, talking about the Package B, the main bowl, the indoor sports of the venue. Let's have a clip of what it takes to be at there. And of course, the Nigerian girls were on green, while the visitors were red and black. Let's have a feel. I've got some of the pictures of yesterday's finals between Egypt and Nigeria. We'll bring to you some of those stories and, of course, giving you the pictures to have a look. Now, of course, I have two gentlemen in the studio here. They are bringing in what has been described as very new but very, very productivity, talking about bragging right in sport competition. At my extreme left, I have Abdul Wahab here with me. Abdul, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, also standing very close to me is Eden. Eden is also a strong member of the Bragging Right. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Now, if someone is just joining us, we truly want to know what is Bragging Right in sport. Let me start with Abdul Wahab.
Yeah,
So when we say bragging, what do you mean?
Well, the word, as the term implies, bragging right competition. Well, bragging right competition is a sporting company that was established to promote healthy competitions across public and private organizations generally. We're just trying to look at a way to bring in sport games into the government itself and pick out corporate entities to be able to get involved into sport. And this way we're trying to use bragging right. Like the name implies, bragging right is just a thing for us. At the end of the games, you'll be able to brag with your brands. It's a thing about brands, it's about individuals, it's about bringing out skills and qualities of individuals besides just the main sport we all have there. Yes.
Okay, let's come to you and find out. When you say bragging, it looks like a kind of showing up. But one should expect that corporate organizations should settle down for their day-to-day activities, and you're creating out the recreation purpose for them.
Like we said, it was a carefully thought out plan when we thought about bragging right competition, because we know sports is a big driver in the country, and we wanted to create something that had to do with the bragging right competition, where companies from all sectors can come in together to compete in sports. I mean, it's always work, but we wanted to do something that is a bit different, targeting sports and targeting the corporate company itself from all sectors. So they come in together, spend their spare time to compete with each other, which creates a unique environment for them to have brand marketing, promotions among themselves, create awareness among themselves on different brands, and also encourage sports within the company itself and within the staffs as a way of leisure and recreation, like you said, two in one, because we also want to create that space where companies are not just focused on work alone, but they understand that sports is a key driver. And here in Nigeria, we're big on sports, and we're big on taking sports to the next level. And bragging right competition is exactly that platform for companies to come in and engage in the bragging right competition.
Okay, let's look at it. Is it still on the pipeline, or you've already started?
Well, it's actually started 2 years ago already. This will be looking at our third edition for 2024. We had our maiden edition of 2022, which was a success. We had about, say, 17 companies coming to just kickstart, and we were testing the water, which really did very well. And we did the second edition 2023, which was around July, that we had about 27 companies this time, with a registration of about 47 games, which we had, which include football, football, paintball, table tennis, and e-sport. So it's really ongoing already, and it's something that we're looking at to be a global move.
Global move, global TV, a unique platform for corporate organizations to come together, bond together, and why not have fun? Well, let me ask, what does it qualify a corporate body to be part of this sporting fiesta?
Okay, first of all, there's always a sign-up fee and a registration fee for each company to come in and register. Like we had 4 tournaments this year, precisely football, paintball, esports, and table tennis. We're looking at expanding the horizon to add other sports like volleyball going forward. So we're working on the pipelines to get season 3 up and running, and it's going to be bigger, better with the partnership of Global TV, because they are one interesting TV channel that are quite about sports. So it's a good thing that we are here right now at this point in time. So companies who want to get involved, I just have to follow us and keep their ears down. When we start opening up the space for registration, they can come on board and register their company and be part of the move to take sports into the next level, bragging right competition.
Bragging right competition right here in Nigeria's capital city, and Global TV is glad to identify with the development of this wonderful sporting fiesta, which will enter its 10th edition perhaps next year. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll take you straight to the indoor hall of the Package B of the MKO Abiola National Stadium, where the finals between Nigeria as well as Egypt, and of course we'll be also taking you to the squash court and the old parade ground. But this time around, it will be that of the MKO Abiola National Stadium. Talking squash, talking talk sport, and Global TV. Let's take a break. When we come back, these and many more stories will come your way only on your #1 dial, Global TV, Talk Sports. Surely believe that you are tuned to Talk Sport right here at Global TV, Nigeria's capital city. We are taking a look at the development of the bragging rights sport competition for corporate bodies in Nigeria's capital city and beyond. Of course, we'll also be looking at the development of the game of sport right here in the nation's capital. I earlier told you that I have two gentlemen in the studio. I have Abdul as well as Edim, and we are looking at the third edition of the bragging right sport, which is a platform. They say all works without joke make Jack a dull boy, but in this case, it makes everyone up on his toe. So the corporate body, it's a platform where corporate organization comes together to bond and, of course, find a lasting solution in enhancing body and soul together. Arab, let me find out from you, does it mean it's only exclusive for corporate bodies in the capital city of Abuja?
No, actually, it's...
No. For now, the competition is open to all sector. As long as you're a company and you're doing business out there, it's open to you. You could be pharmacies, construction companies, real estate, government power starters who want to engage with private sector.
And if you're not paying your taxes to government,
exactly, of course.
Yes.
No, you're not. So as far as you are a business person, you get, and I think the government should jump on this because it gives you an easy ground for you to also connect with the private sector and collect sport, because sports is big. So we are very key on building sports, pushing the private sector into it and saying, come on board, let's bragging right competition, push you there and earn the right to brag and be the #1 top bragging right competition winner in the year.
Okay, let's look at the legacy. One aspect that will chief executive will want to give approval is, at the end of the day, what comes to the table?
Well,
What will be the legacy of those corporate bodies that will find themselves at the 3rd edition of the bragging right?
Now, the legacy of the companies that will come, like we said, would be those who are going to probably, be the end to right to brag.
Yes.
Because, like you said.
Well, basically, the legacy, it has been on already. Like, if you come in from the last events we had, most of these companies that are coming in are looking for awareness. They are looking for competition themselves. They are looking for team bonding, team association, means of creating communication within their corporations. And we are going to create this room at the end of the day for you to have this flexibility. We have room for all, like you said, all work and no play make Jack a dull boy. Your company, your organization get the opportunity to have this brand free flow with other organizations, like an ecosystem where you get involved and then you sell out directly. There's a networking room while you're having sports at the same time. And like I said, the advertisement, the awareness, the enrollment, giving you public view, giving you more marketing advantages when you get involved within these games.
Okay, let's look at how do you fight missionaries? This has been quite a major challenge. What methods are you employing to make sure that you find those who are not qualified for this, like missionaries?
Okay, we know companies who are very serious in their staffing have to have sort of a company data that shows and tells us this is your staff that's working for us for a period of time. Now, for those who have youth service corpers who are working with the organization, we understand their role is just a year. So those ones can also fly. So we do our due diligence to make sure we check, verify ID cards, companies, employment letters to be sure that these are actually companies' in-house staff. But nevertheless, because we don't want to be biased about it, some companies might not have the complete staffing to make up a team if they want to compete in particular sports. So we open up that platform and say, we can let them bring in maybe 1 or 2 professionals to join in their ranks and come in to compete. But the main key insider of this sport is the team from the companies and their staff itself. That's what makes it a difference instead of bringing people from outside.
Okay, let's take a break and then come back and take you straight to the Nigeria Professional Football League. A total of 10 matches will be decided this weekend, Saturday and Friday. And of course, you know that Lobby Stars will be meeting on, of course, Abia Warriors, and their matches will be decided at the Just Township Stadium, while the game between Plateau United and, of course, Kano Pillars will take place at the Sania Abacha Stadium. Two great matches that you need to be part of it this weekend. Let's go back and perhaps we've got the story clear that the Egyptians are the reigning champions of the women under 17 volleyball championship. The North African country came into the country about 4 days ago, defeated Cameroon, and of course met with Nigeria in the finals. And of course they ran away with a 3-1 victory yesterday at the indoor hall of the MKO Abiola National Stadium. Your number one, of course, Talk Sport was there for Global TV, and let's have a feel of what it is. Glad to have you back here on the program Talk Sport on Global TV this beautiful Friday morning right here in Nigeria's capital city. My guest, we have been looking at the bragging right corporate sporting fiesta, which will enter the 10th edition from any moment from now. And the management of Global TV is glad to identify with this positive initiative that will enhance the beauty of what it takes to be a corporate institution in Nigeria's capital city. I'm being joined in the studio by Mr. Abdul and of course Mr. Eden, and so we are working to ensure that this program, as far as the 10th edition is concerned, is the best. Now let's come back to you. Are we going to have both men and women competing, or are we going to have exclusive competition?
We're not going to exclude women, because women are a key factor of sports. Okay. However, we're going to have to create sports that we can put in women, and we're looking at volleyball. That's why I said we didn't have volleyball this year, but third edition we're definitely looking at adding volleyball to it so that they can be a sport for the women.
Abdul, you were at the indoor hall yesterday. You saw the Egyptians taking on Nigerian, and at the end of the day, the Egyptians ran away with victory. Yeah. What does that mean to the development of volleyball in the country? What should we do? What should the corporate bodies like you do to enhance the beauty of the game?
Thank you very much. Well, as you can see, we have a very good volleyball team. The game they played very well was really competitive, but if you can see how the Egyptians played, they have been really in good training for a very long time, and it's not a thing of just at some period of time when you are having this competition and then you rally up this youths to come to compete, but you create it as a home-based team for everybody to get involved every now and then. So you see, we trying to get this true corporate sports is to create an avenue where even at the early stage of getting a young youth age, you can get involved in all kinds of sports you wish to play. Volleyball, precisely like he said, we actually didn't have that our last edition, but we're looking at it to dedicate that directly to just ladies coming this next edition.
Talk Sport right here. Let's take you to the squash. It was a very good afternoon yesterday. 2 weeks ago, the Squash Sporting Federation brought together the best of squash players across the country in what has been described as one of the best competitions. Talk Sport from Global TV yesterday visited the squash court at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Package B precisely, and we caught up of the national coach who spoke to us on the plans to ensure the beautiful game is taken to the next level. Let's listen to the coach, and he was the assistant captain of Koja when Nigeria hosted the All-Africa game. He made a disclosive interview with Talk Sport.
Okay, tell me, much has not been heard about squash. What is squash game all about?
Squash is all about family, it's all about coming together to be as one as friends and family. So,
okay, let's start. So, what's the name?
My name is Jude Ode, former Nigerian squash captain and Nigerian #1, and based in the United States.
Okay, Jude, you have played the game of squash very well. Tell us more about what position is Nigeria now in the squash game.
Nigeria is in like top 20 as team event. We're in top 20. So because we've not been having enough squash tournaments, we've not been having enough like outing to play more international tournament. That's why the ranking is very slow and low.
So what are the plans to make sure this game become a household name?
We need more sponsors and more awareness with corporate bodies to come in as we used to have when I used to play squash. So we need more corporate bodies to come around to like sponsor squash, and then squash will get back in the limelight.
Do you think Nigerian youths truly love the game of squash?
Yes, I think we have a lot of Nigerian youths playing more squash, and that's why I still have that interest and love to come back from the United States to see how much I can encourage more junior squash players again.
A man who saw it all in squash. Today he is a national coach and is doing very, very well. At the squash court yesterday, we also met veteran. Of course, we met the former chairman of the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BON, and the one-time Director General of Voice of Nigeria, talking about Abubakar Jijiwa, who spoke to us, saying that he loves the game of squash and that at every time he will find time to be a squash player. Let's listen to the former BON executive.
The beautiful game of squash. Some believe that squash is a little bit fast compared to the development of football. How can we do as a country to bring squash to limelight?
Well, I guess squash has gone a very long way, and unfortunately the problem with squash faces is lack of sponsorship, or very poor sponsorship. And worldwide, what must need to be done is to encourage more corporate sponsors to increase the level of prize money for the tournament, and encourage so many corporate organizations to support the game of squash. Squash is a very, very interesting game. Within 5 minutes, if you play squash, you will sweat. There's no game like that. Within 5 minutes, if you don't sweat after playing squash for 5 minutes, then it means you're not playing squash. So it's a very, very physically exciting game, but you can also adjust it to everybody's level. And I think we can do much better.
Top executive members finding the game of squash, making it a game you can call upon at any time. And so it was the best of moments yesterday, having the likes of our own big brother in the business of broadcasting, still creating out time to exercise for fun and then keeping body and soul together. Let's welcome you back to the studio. I still have with me and the guests talking about Mr. Edem, who is here with me, and of course Abdul. We are looking at the recreational aspect of sport. That's to say, now let's look at veterans who have seen it all. Can they still have place in this?
Of course. You know, the beautiful thing about what we're doing right now is it's gradually unfolding. So there is a huge picture of where bragging right is going to.
You have a big door for
Of
everybody.
of course. So that at the future of what bragging right is going to be, there's always going to be one thing or the other that will be opened up for everybody. So everybody is part of it.
Yeah.
Yes, let's look at the rewards. Of course, there should be trophy,
Yes,
financial
yes,
reward,
yes,
and
yes.
so on. At what level are we now?
Yes, well, the last 2 games we did out of bringing out this room to create the reward of having your opportunity to network and enjoy the privilege of exercising.
Beside,
Yes,
networking,
yes, that's
the financial reward.
yes. I'm going to get there. It's what we're looking at to make everybody and all the participants we had that had participated the first time and coming in as well for the 3rd edition to recognize that it's going to be a cash prize, rewards, and other gifts. And of course, we had trophies and awards and recognition awards as well for participants and some personnel. But this time around, we're still going to have something bigger. We are getting ready to give something way bigger.
I'm going to add something to what my colleague just said right now, because when we started bragging right competition, it's been an in-house thing, in-house driven, in-house, because we believe in the dream. And you know, if you believe in something, you have to put in the work for the sponsors to come in. So we haven't done that in terms of cash prize for the 1st and 2nd edition. That's why the 3rd edition is going to be big and better and different.
The 3rd edition, hopefully, not this year again.
That'll be next year. That'll be next year.
2014, yes,
Okay,
this year.
next year the door is open, I'm told, for corporate bodies to be part of the bragging corporate sports fiesta, which will take place right here in Nigeria's capital city. That will be the 3rd edition, but it will be the first time that Global TV will be identifying with this great initiative. We strongly believe that you'll be part of it. That's how far we can go on today's edition of the program. Talk Sport right here and Global TV, Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. We told you that the Egyptians won this year's edition of the under-17 women of perhaps girls, because their performance yesterday, they are the queens. They ran away with a 3-1 win over Nigeria. Nigeria went home with the 2nd position, having defeated their neighbor, talking about Cameroon, to the 3rd place. And of course, there will be plenty of actions in the English Premier League. Nigeria Professional Football League will also come alive. But let's tell you that Saudi Arabia sport minister's claim of sport watching against the country are very shallow, as he defended his right to host the men's football World Cup. Of course, he told reporters Prince Abdulaziz bin Tadu, Faisal says a lot of people that are accusing us that haven't been to Saudi. See what we are doing. Critics say unprecedented spending on sport has been used to improve the oil-producing kingdom, reputation over human rights record, and its environmental impact. But the Saudi government insists that investment in boosting the economic, opening it up to tourism, and inspiring people to be more active in this interview. Of course, you know, when he talks about sport now, the big boys are in Saudi, and I hope they are having a wonderful environment. So we'll be hoping that they will stage the World Cup. The World Football Governing Body has already awarded the hosting right to Saudi Arabia. Let's hope the Super Eagles will be there after the 2 edition, of course, talking about the FIFA World Cup. That's the size of today's edition of the program, Talk Sport, on this beautiful Friday morning. I strongly believe you had the best of time. If you did join us same time next week, that's Monday precisely, for another interesting edition. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Abdul and of course Mr. Eden.
Thank you very much.
On the program.
Thank you very much. It was a privilege to come. We really appreciate the time.
Have a wonderful sporting day ahead of you.